You're listening to The Jay Palmer Show.
How's it going, folks? Welcome back to the podcast. There it is. Oh, man. Hope all is well. I hope all is well. There's apparently some protests going on in Charlottesville, Virginia. I don't understand. Like, let's look this up. I don't know anything about it, so let's just check it out here. Virginia. I don't. Unite the Right. This is a Unite the Right rally. What is Unite the Right rally? Sorry, I'm reading it right now. No, I don't ask for the ads. Go away. I'm not being paid for your ad, so go away. All right, Virginia's governor declared an emergency and police work to disperse hundreds of protesters in Charlottesville after clashes broke out ahead of Saturday's Unite the Right rally of white nationalists and the right-wing groups. What the hell is a white nationalist? Fistfights, blah, blah, blah. Saturday's rally was the latest event drawing nationalist and right-wing activists from across the country to the Democratic voting college town. A development participated by the city's decision to remove symbols of the Confederate past. All right. So yeah, I'm watching this on the news. Just trying to like understand. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, that's what the hell is a white nationalist? That sounds like something you'd hear in like a third world country. Like that just doesn't. That sounds like Hitler-esque stuff. White nationalism is a type of nationalism or pan-nationalism which holds the belief that white people are a race and seeks to develop and maintain white national identity. That's Hitler. Why are we? I mean, okay. I totally support these individuals' right to free speech. But I don't understand. I mean, that somebody's protest. I mean, I guess it's not really a protest because they're just going out and showing their support of white people and whatever our agenda is. I don't know. I don't know what that agenda is. I just doesn't. I don't get it. Like, I guess I don't have a racist bone in my body to be able to sit here and say, hey, you know, that's. I just don't get it. I mean, this country was founded on immigrants and people of all races and colors and nationalities. See, the problem I see with America is, especially today, people like want to move here, but they want to keep their culture. They want to keep their own personal beliefs and their laws. And that's completely fine, but we have a Constitution, we have a Bill of Rights, we have all that stuff, and that's what it is. If you don't understand it, you shouldn't be here. I mean, that's. I'm not supporting these white supremacist people or nationalists. I'm just saying, as a whole, like, I mean, protests on both sides, on people, on immigrants, and whatever. I mean, the only reason you're protesting is because you've come to you have a conclusion. You believe in something. That's why you're protesting, because you simply believe in something. And I've made it my personal. I've made it one of my goals. Not really my goals. My personal values is to not believe in anything. Don't stand behind anything, except for your values. Obviously, make sure those values don't align with hate or bigotry or anything of that sorts. Because if you do stand behind, let's say, don't identify with anything. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, don't identify yourself with anything. Don't identify yourself with white people, with immigrants, with anything. Just be. Just exist. Because you have been given that gift to exist. And why can't you just be happy with that? Well, why do you have to go out and why do we have people out in the world today going out and murdering hundreds of thousands of people just because they identify with something? And that's all this protest is. That's all any protest will ever is, or ever has been, and ever will be. It's just because you identify with something. I believe that, I don't want to say it like that because somebody's going to take that out of context and put it all over YouTube. I mean, it's not. It's just like the Bible and the atheists and Satan and God and Coca-Cola and Pepsi and anything. Like, the only reason you hate something is because you believe it. You identify with something. That's the only reason you hate. Because if you didn't identify with anything, you have nothing to hate because you don't identify. You just exist. And that's what I don't understand about these protests. It's like, why can't you just be? Why do you have to be a dick? Why do you have to be a dick? That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I was put on this world to hate people. Then you need to go away. I mean, come on. Like, I don't. The only times I dislike somebody is when they're physically. When they are physically or mentally trying to get into my head or harm my body, that's when I have a problem with people. That's particularly why the reason I hate psychopaths so much, because they think they have the right to get into your head and manipulate your existence to make themselves happy. And I mean, it's just frustrating, man. Why can't you just be? Why can't you just be? Instead of identifying, I am. I mean, it's okay to call yourself an American, but the problem is like when you identify with that to a point where you think your ideas are better than somebody else's ideas, and you need to oppress their ideas. And I'm not saying. Or let's change this up. Okay, if your ideas align with any type of hatred, bigotry, or anything that involves harming other people, that's not. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. It's not right. I mean, that's why it's so bad to identify with yourself as something. That's why the Christians have pillaged nations, or Muslims have murdered people. That's all that is. I hate you simply because you don't align with the thing that I identify with. That's all it is. That is That is all it is. God, it's frustrating. Oh, man. Man, that got me on a rant, man. Whew. So, how's it going? So, I was on Reddit. I'm on Reddit, like I say, I'm on Reddit every day. I'm gonna see if I can find it here. I don't know. Wait, I always have like 3 tabs open. It's always just 3 too, which is weird. Let's go to. Let's go to Ask Reddit real quick. I don't know. There we go. Does Americans really use their outdoor shoes inside as portrayed in the movies and series? If so, why? What is it? I personally, I mean, I've had, you know, I had slippers, like house, not shoes, but they're slippers. Only because I grew up in a cold environment, and your feet get cold. But now I don't really wear them anymore because I obviously live in Oklahoma, and it's always like 110 outside. So, here's a good one. People who have stopped using social media, such as Facebook and Instagram, what caused you to make the choice? Let's see if I can find the one I was looking for first, though. There's this question about what's the smoking is good for you, but not really of your generation. Something like it's something that we believe, or no, it wasn't that. Oh my gosh, what was that? That's freaking irritating. Is it something like that? Oh wait, no. I don't know. See, this is all. Is there a way I can filter this? Probably not. There we go. Top. Well, shit. It was something basically like what's our generational thing that's gonna hurt us when we're older? So something in those lines of. That is frustrating me, man. I want to find it. I wonder if it's on my phone. I don't want to look through it on my phone. I'm on Reddit right now, so I don't know why it's not. What is the best example of when lying was better than alternative to telling the truth? Absolutely no time. Oh, this is smokers of Reddit. Why do you still smoke? Man, there's this. Okay, I can't find it. It's like the same questions on Reddit. That's weird. Her. Great. Now I lost that other one that I was going to read. This is a great podcast. Wait. Okay, no. Here. Oh, yeah. Turns out what's bad for us of our generation. What will be that? What will be that turns out cigarettes are bad for you of us of our generation? There it is. That was on the first page, too, and I missed it. It's The systematic, scientific, concentrated battle for our attention. App notifications, Skinner box games, easy to access diversion on our phones, lack of silence due to music streaming, podcasts, audiobooks. We are being trained out of being able to handle stillness and silence, and our brains aren't designed to handle constant anxiety and jumping of attention from thing to thing without a feeling of completion. Yeah. I agree with that. But the top comment yesterday was sleep. And that's totally... Oh, here's what, working 50 to 60 hours a week and stress is actually bad for you. It's sleep and stress. And this one I just read here that I was just reading about being constantly on. And it's funny because all that stuff relates. Because when you're constantly engaged, constantly on, your brain is constantly on, obviously. And that's a problem. People always complain about they're not getting enough sleep. They're always stressed out. They're always like thinking about something. That's because your brain is you're working your day to where your brain never shuts off. And that's a problem. I mean, you have to be you need times of silence. You need times of just coming down. Because if you don't, you're going to drive yourself insane. Because your brain isn't wired for that type of, that constant meh in your head. And, it's just, it's frustrating because, like, a commenter commented that, like it's frowned upon if you're not always tired, and it's frowned upon that that you don't work harder at something, and it's not okay to just stop and relax, and that's totally not true. I mean, all that is people trying to put what their beliefs into you, and that's not all right because you have your beliefs and they have their beliefs. I hope this is all making sense because I feel like I'm ranting. I mean, part of me, I just really wanted to get a podcast out today because I don't want to go another week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks without putting a podcast out. Social media, that's another one. I've gone down that path in this podcast before where I'm just like, I'm on Facebook. I have Facebook. I have Twitter. I have all that stuff, but I don't post on it. Mainly I use Facebook now to like for news, for like just news and blogs. Like I read Mark Manson's blog, the guy that wrote The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I read his blog and I read other dudes' blogs, and that's how mainly I get that information is through Facebook. I only have like 30 some friends on Facebook because I don't care about what people are doing on their weekends. I don't care what my third cousin is doing with her fifth child. I don't give a shit. Like, it's not that I don't care, it's just I don't need that in my mind. And that's part of the thing of people not being able to sleep is when you're constantly on thinking about stuff. That's where that comes from. Where do you think all that anxiety and stress comes from? Do you think it just magically comes out of the sky and fucks you in the ass? No. It's all the bullshit that you're just like allowing into your life. And I've struggled with insomnia over the past couple of years, and it's not as bad as it used to be, but I'm going about maybe 3 days a month without sleep, or sleep that's not a good quality sleep, and just this last, what day was it? It was sometime this week I couldn't sleep. Thursday night actually, and part of it was goddamn fan wouldn't shut the fuck up. I mean, it kept like vibrating and like making this weird noise, and I just kept thinking about it. That's what it is. The only reason you can't sleep is because of your mind. It has nothing to do with anything else. You need to remember that. It has nothing to do with what your girlfriend said, your boss said, what your fan is doing, what the guy outside is doing in his front porch at 2 a.m. It has nothing to that is not the reason you can't sleep. The only reason you can't sleep is because of your own damn mind. That's the only reason. And I told myself that Thursday night when I was sitting there getting pissed off at my fans. Like, the only reason you can't sleep right now is because of your own damn mind. And you just need to shut the fuck up and go to sleep. And I went to sleep at 3:30 in the morning. That's I mean, I've gotten to a point where that's all I have to tell myself is, dude, you need to stop. You basically need to train your brain to just stop. And if you can't do that, that means you don't have control over your own faculty. Like, I can't stop the stress. And it's like, yes, you can. You just need to stop allowing it into your life. I mean, that's all it is. It's like, put Facebook down put Facebook down before you go to bed. Don't even use Facebook or Twitter or whatever. I get freaked out about the news and I can't sleep. Then turn off the news. And you won't have the problem. Well, then I'll be worrying about the news. The only reason you're worrying is because you're allowing yourself to worry about it. It's your mind. Your biggest enemy is between your ears. Not the guy across the street, not your boss, not your wife, not your sister, not your girlfriend. You. The thing between your ears is your biggest enemy. And it took me a long time to figure that out. It took me 32 years to be precise. And the only reason that I came to figure that out is because it got so shitty. It got so shitty to the point where I had no choice but to get control over my faculty, over my mind, over my life. And it's great. It's nice to have that power. It's nice to be able to have that power. Somebody can walk you up to you and call you a fucking piece of shit. And you know what? You won't feel nothing. You know why? Because you know you're not a fucking piece of shit. That's their opinion of you. Their opinion of you does not matter. I don't lose sleep over people's opinions of me anymore. Because I know that's not true. Because my life is not focused on goals. It's not focused on getting cars, trucks, minivans, houses, or whatever. It's focused on values. Trust, persistence, growth. Things that people can't touch. And if they do try to touch them, I push them out. And that's all that is. If you work your ass off for a car, at any time somebody could ram right into that car or steal it, and it's gone. People can't do that to trust. They can't do that to growth and persistence. Because those are stuff people can't touch because it's within you. Boom. Mind freak. I don't And people, this podcast is going kind of long, but that's all right. The first 20 minutes probably didn't make any sense anyway because I was rambling on about white supremacy. And how much they're giant pieces of shit. And it's like people, I saw in the comments that people are, people put all of these expectations on you. The only reason all those expectations are on your shoulders right now is because you allow them. It's like, well, people People want me to work 50, 60 hours a week. People want me to go into debt. People want... No. The only reason you're doing it is because you're allowing it. And that's what you think is right. Not because it is right. It's because everybody else around you is doing it. Well, it's okay to go $500,000 or $250,000 in debt by the age of 30 and divorced 3 times with 3 kids. And a car payment I can't afford. Dude, you're not living your life when you do that. You're just doing what everybody else is doing. Well, I need to get a tattoo because everybody else gets one. No. You are not living your life. You are simply unconsciously going through life. You're no different than anybody else. You need to get a control of your life. That's all you need to do. And all the bullshit will not matter. You know, one of the simplest things that I do, I mean, like at work, you know, pretty much anywhere you work, they're gonna try and push on your boundaries and see how far you're willing to go to help them make money. And one of the big things for me is my schedule and is my time. And if they want me to work overtime, the answer is always no. It's always no. It's just no. Nope. No. That simple boundary right there, and the fact that, you know, my schedule never changes, that simple boundary right there sets a big precedent. It's like, if they can't even respect that, I'm not willing to work for them. That's it. That's basically a test. That's all that is. And it's like, well, you know, you know, your boss may come down to you sometimes saying, well, I need you to work harder and work longer hours to show me you really care. And that it doesn't really anger me when people say that, but it's like, look, I give 40 hours of my life a week to you. I'm there more than I am at my own house. And they're telling me that's not enough. I'm not working hard enough. Okay, I'll leave. You know, it's like, well, I need you to cover this shift and work your shift. Then I'll quit. And then you have to find somebody to cover that shift and my shift. I mean, people don't really realize how much power they actually have when it comes to a job or schedules or stuff like that. And I'm rambling again. I need to stop. That's something that's a little personal for me. Like, I've had it in the past where people they've liked to push on those boundaries a little bit. And my life has gotten so much better after focusing on values instead of goals, instead of getting monetary stuff or physical stuff. There's so much less stress in my life. Yeah, so I sometimes lose sleep, and that's only, like I said, that's only because of my mind. It's only because I allowed my mind to stay on. That's all that is. That's all that is. There's nothing else. You have to set boundaries in your life, or you're simply not going to have control of your life, and you're going to end up 30 years down the road not even know who you are, not even knowing who you are because you've allowed other people to dictate your life. I need to stop because this podcast is going to go on for fucking ever, man. Oh.
The Jay Palmer Show is hosted on Podbean.com. Download the app on iOS and Android and listen anytime, anywhere.
Boom. All right. I'll catch y'all later. I don't know. I need to check if my last show uploaded on YouTube. But I'm on YouTube now. I'm just uploading shows for now. I'm thinking about doing different stuff in the future. Yeah, Twitter. I'm on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. All that fun stuff. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Peace.